You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
We come in peace.
How's it going today, Croncat?
It's going good. How are you, Goose?
I am doing great. We had a great WXLR show.
We certainly did.
This past week. You can actually hear it tonight. It's our Art Bell tribute show, and I must say, this is one of the best shows that we've ever done.
I think so, too. I mean, it's an homage to one of our favorite people in the universe.
Yes, the late, great Art Bell. Before we get started this week, I want to bring out some stuff that happened on last week's show when I listened to the playback.
Okay.
I talked about the Javier time traveler story, and you asked me how to spell it, and I don't know why, but I told you how to spell it wrong. It is Javier.
I thought so.
Not H.
I thought so.
And I didn't realize that I'd said H until I went back and listened to the show once we had it posted on our platforms.
Well, it's easily done.
Also, Gordon Lightfoot is a singer.
He's not the deep throat.
He is not the deep. I think that is G. Gordon Liddy or Liddy you were thinking of.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
So, yeah, but Gordon Lightfoot is a singer. And for some strange reason, and maybe our listeners can help me out with this, I've been doing research this week, and, usually what I do when I get time, I'll research some subjects that people's emailed about, and I usually bookmark them on my phone or on my computer so I can go back later. I just glance over them.
Sure.
And I cannot remember why, but you just go ahead and touch it. If you hear anything, Cronkite's touching his microphone. The best time to set up for the show is while we're doing the show.
During the show.
But anyway,
Listen,
I can't remember.
You didn't hear anything just now, so I don't want to hear it.
Well, no, you actually did pretty good there.
Yeah, I'm doing better at it.
So, but anyway, some of the research that I've done, and maybe some of our listeners can help me out with this. I came across some articles, and they had significance with the year 1994.
Okay.
But I have misplaced those articles. And I've even had dreams this past week about the year 1994.
Really?
Yes. And I'm going to try to go back and look over some of the emails and texts and comments, to see what I may be missing. But for some reason, I think that there is something UFO or disclosure related that happened in 1994 that nobody ever noticed or took note of.
Very interesting. I'd be excited to hear what you come up with.
Well, I'm going to keep doing that. Also, want to tell everyone to be sure to check out Talk Junkie with our friend Justin. That is Talk Junkie with Justin. We also have a new international listener. Do you know where they're from? They are from France, my friend. Yes,
Fantastic.
Yes, they are.
I love it.
Me too. Do you know any French?
Hola.
No.
Bonjour.
Oh, there you go. There it is. Very good. And also on next week's show, we are going to have a listener requested topic show. We've not done this in quite a while. So basically how this works is the first 5 people to email us listener requested topics that you want us to talk about. You can post on our Facebook page or comment on our YouTube videos. The first 4 people that contact us with topics they want us to talk about next Sunday right here on the show, the whole show will be listener requested topics.
Fantastic.
And the last thing I've got, some more big news.
I'm ready for it.
We will be going the show. You can also hear it coming up on Monday, April 26th at 10 p.m. on 107.1 WKCB in Hyman, Kentucky.
There's another one?
My old hometown. Yes. We have got picked up with them, and our show will be premiering Monday, April 26th, 10 p.m. on 107.1 WKCB, The Killer Bee.
That's exciting.
That's very exciting. I used to work there years and years and years ago before I got a job at the cookie factory.
I see. I got you. Well.
So it's kind of like a homecoming to me.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
happy for you. I'm glad
You look kind of lost.
I had a weird night.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to expand on it?
No, y'all don't want to hear about that.
Oh, yes. Come on, my friend. Tell us about it. Tell us about it. Did you see leprechauns?
No, it all started with a rainbow.
Okay.
That I took a picture of.
I saw that picture.
Yeah. And then it went real sideways real quick. I don't know
how.
You really don't want
Yes, we do.
No.
Wait. It does not involve you taking a crap near an anthill, right?
I mean,
because if it does, we don't want to hear it. If it don't, then please share it with us.
Okay, so I can't talk about it because this is a PG show.
Okay.
So I can't talk about it. But it just know that it was a very strange night, and I'm still processing what went on.
Really?
Yes. Maybe one day I can let you in on what happened. But
you've kind of got me wondering now.
No. It was kind of like what you were talking about. You had a dream about 1994.
Yes. But did you have a dream, or did this actually happen to you?
No. It was a very strange dream. So.
Oh, okay.
It's just a weird night all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. That sounds good to me. You want to start out with some listener email?
I sure do.
We have some very long listener emails this week.
Those are my favorite.
That's what she said. Ray from Kentucky writes, "Hello, here to chew bubblegum. My email is in reference to Bigfoot.
Okay.
If they do exist and live on this planet indefinitely, I think there would be more proof. I think I'm going to do a study on when their sightings are at their peak. Obviously, the winter months, and some reason, would take a dive due to people not being in the woods/nature as much. I hope for their existence, if only to prove we don't know it all and their beings literally, and that these beings literally walk among us that we know very little about."
Well, they don't really walk among us, do they? I mean, they're in the woods. So.
Well, they hide among us.
Well, I mean, it's not really. We don't live in the woods. We have our own little area that we live in.
Correct.
And there's plenty of dense forest in this world that a creature could hide for hundreds of years.
Yes.
Email I have is from Logan. It says, "Hey man, I've been listening to your podcast all day at work. I love it. I want to hear more stories about your all's old house."
You need to definitely share that.
Well, and that's coming. I spoke with my brother and my sister this week, and my dad, and they are.
You need to interview them.
Well, they're going to send me some email stories. I don't think they're comfortable with an interview.
Gotcha.
Old Man Cronkite might be, but the other two are not.
You need to interview Old Man Cronkite.
Definitely, we will. And they're going to send me some emails of some stuff that's happened to them in our old house, as well as stuff that's happened to them, excuse me, since then in houses that they've lived in since then.
So something may have followed them.
It's very possible, very possible.
Well, I look forward to hearing that. Carmen from Florida says, "Hello, Goose and Cronkite. The Great Pyramid is too perfect. They are built at the geographic center of the earth." I did not know that. Did you?
I didn't know that.
They did that for a reason, perhaps to have a better chance at deflecting the cataclysm.
Just cataclysm.
Yeah, what he said, that was coming. I believe there was a comet and that they had the technology to know about it. Keep the ear candy coming, Roswell. Cataclysm.
The face that you gave is what tickled me there.
Well, at least I can say arc.
That's true. What?
Arc. Yes.
I don't understand.
Once you listen to the WXLR show tonight, you'll be able to understand.
Did I say WXL arc?
No. But you don't remember when we recorded it, you had a problem saying the Ark of the Covenant?
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I do remember that. That was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was bad. So, Jean-Luc from France.
Hello, Jean-Luc. That is our new listener I was telling you about.
I'm very excited.
Bonjour.
I recently discovered your talk show. My name is Jean-Luc, and I live in France. We have many UFO sightings here. You should talk about them and our crop circles. The Elliot part of the show was very entertaining and enjoyable. The spooky family reminds me of the Addams Family from the American TV. That's awesome.
Well, thank you very much, Jean-Luc.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. And we will definitely look into the sightings in France and your all's crop circles.
No, I've never really studied crop circles a lot. What's your take on them? Or is that something that you're interested in, or?
I think crop circles are indeed real. And by real, I mean they were created by another force initially.
Right.
There have been certain times when it's been proven that humans have made them.
Right.
And I think those are copycats, obviously.
That makes sense. Tim from Kentucky says, Goose, Cronkite, Ned, and Elliot, you guys are great. Have you heard anything about a secret location inside Pine Mountain in Letcher County? A long time ago, a friend of my dad's used to talk about an entrance near the top. He said it was a cave that went into the mountain, and at one part there was a huge hole in the ground. He dropped a flashlight down, and it disappeared into the void, and he never heard it hit the bottom. If you guys haven't heard of it, maybe some of your listeners have. Roswell, my friends. Thank you very much, Tim, for writing in with that. I actually have heard that rumor before, and I had a buddy of mine years ago that actually was talking about a cave on Pine Mountain that you could walk like maybe close to half a mile in, and then it just stops, and there's a big void in it. And he said that, him and some fellow cave people, what do you call them? Spelunkers had like 60 foot of rope, and they tied off and went down like 60 feet, and they ran out of rope to climb back up.
Wow.
So, but that was like in probably '06, he told me that. So, but we'll definitely look into that.
Well, it still has to be there. I mean,
yeah.
There's not been any major Earth movements.
Yeah, man, but I mean, do you want to go? It would be our luck. We would go there doing videos, and we would actually fall in the damn thing.
No, I'm not going.
Okay.
I'll stay at the mouth of the cave and somebody has to tell what happened.
Well, you mean you wouldn't walk into the cave at all?
No, not at all.
Why?
I'm too claustrophobic. And also, when you all fall...
You're too colostomy bag phobic.
When you all fall in, somebody's going to have to tell the authorities what went on there. So I volunteer to do that.
Well, that is very kind of you.
Brittany from Texas, howdy Goose and Cronkite, new listener, and wanted to say that I love you too, plus Elliot and Ned. You talked recently about doing more video things for your YouTube channel. I request Elliot and Ned be in these too.
Well, Brittany, your plea is probably falling on deaf ears to both of those people. I would bet that Elliot would do a video show with us before Ned would, but I think Elliot would do it if his face was hid or distorted.
Sure, and I think, honestly, I think if both of their faces were hid or distorted, they're not very much... They're not people.
Well, yes, they are, but they just want to keep their identities very secret.
It's much better when you say that they're not people.
But they are people. But
they're not.
Elliot is. No, Elliot's a people person.
No.
Yes, he is.
No, he's
look
not.
At what he does for a real-life day job. He is a people person.
Yeah, no.
And I do not see how he does that.
No.
Yes.
Not a people person.
Daryl from Georgia says, hello, here to chew bubblegum. I wanted to start a discussion on on UFOs, the same UFOs that have been seen and reported since the late 19th century to this day, mainly the triangular type of UFOs. And what strikes me is the fact that this same type of craft has been seen all over the sky for centuries. To me, this suggests that it's not alien spacecraft and in fact something of this world, but maybe not from this time. There are things that we do not understand, such as the past, present, and future. Time travel would have happened in the future, and we are in one timeline of 2021. Technology has been improving over the centuries, and one day humans will be able to time travel in, let's say, by the 33rd century, for example. It's not too far-fetched that UFOs could be time travelers. Okay, thank you very much, Daryl from Georgia, for that email. We've said before, triangular UFOs in the 80s, 90s, those were unexplained, but those are the TR-3B.
Yes.
Now, the 19th century triangle ones, the ones pre-80s, well, the ones pre-80s still could have been TR-3Bs.
Sure.
But, we could have got the idea or the know-how from triangle ones that have been seen in the 19th century.
To be honest, anything from about the 50s on could have been the TR-3B.
Yes.
If we're thinking about it logically,
exactly.
If what they found in 47 and even 36 in the Black Forest
yes.
Made its way to our technology.
I think you're correct.
Andy from Tennessee,
Hello, Andy.
Have you heard about the Nashville UFO? I think it was in '88 or '89. It appeared when it appeared. Some say it was a hoax, but I disagree.
I have heard of that. And there's pictures of it online. Have you saw that?
I've not saw it. No.
It is now, and we'll talk about this on the show sometime. And I started to talk about it before, okay? But the story goes, this photographer was traveling on the outskirts of Nashville, and he saw this object, and he pulled off the road, got his professional camera out, and took pictures. The pictures are astonishing. I mean, they are magnificent.
Yeah.
All right. And he posted and sold these pictures and stuff. So the story goes they were setting up for this concert, and it was part of the light show that they were setting up at this outdoor concert event.
Mm-hmm.
So some people think that that's what he photographed. And you can actually, when you go back and look at the pictures, you could see that it could possibly be a light show from this concert they were setting up for.
Sure.
It was a big disappointment to me when I found that part out. But we will talk about that sometime on the show.
That's awful. I mean, but see, all right, so here I want to bring up this interesting thing. So anytime somebody takes a picture of a UFO, it's usually fuzzy, grainy, and people are like, oh, I have no idea what that is.
This was professional.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I have no idea what that is. And then the second you take a good, clear picture of something unexplained, people say, oh, that's fake.
Well,
have you noticed that?
Well, yes. And I wanted to believe that they were real because it was it's a fascinating picture.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it was a huge letdown.
Did you see the thing that I sent you earlier this week from the airport in Montreal? The blue lights that came in as one, and then they split off as three
and separate.
And it was kind of like a fog. It was that was amazing.
Yes, it was. You want to read one there?
Yeah. Tanya from Kentucky says, "Hey guys, great show lately. I've been down with pneumonia. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Goose and Cronkite, once again, you guys are the best hosts. Your Ingersoll Lockwood stuff is amazing. Please be careful. We need you all." Well, thank you, Tanya.
Thank you very much.
And
Tanya.
I hope you're feeling better. This is free to the show, Tanya, and I hope you're feeling better. And we're going to keep coming with some Ingersoll Lockwood stuff.
Yes, we are.
As soon as we find out some more stuff,
yes, we are.
Something
and
happens.
Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll have a special episode devoted entirely to Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated.
Oh wait, she had more. It's the way this paper is.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I was trying to make it easier on you, sir.
Not a problem. Not wrong. She goes on to say, Elliot, you keep getting better. Love the spooky family. I bet you have fun reunions. This should be a new segment. Ned, where have you gone? Thanks all. I'll be moving cross country soon. I'm glad to get to take this piece of home with me, Roswell. Tanya, we're sad to see you go, but continue to keep listening to us
and keep writing in.
And keep writing in, please. Yes, the Elliot, the Spooky Family was a great show.
Great show.
Ned, we're not sure where.
Well,
he's here right now.
In all fairness, Ned has recorded some Ned Saids. In last week's episode, I forgot to include that, and okay. I apologize for that. Real quick, here's a picture of the 1989 Nashville UFO. A fascinating picture.
Yeah, it is.
Fascinating. But, when you look at it, I think it was a lights for a outdoor concert that they were setting up for.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it, but it has a perfect circle.
Oh, it's a perfect UFO pic.
Yeah.
So, Lori from West Virginia writes, "Great show last week, guys. I really like you guys calling people or numbers that you find in stories and articles that you talk about. Did anyone from Ingersoll Lockwood ever call you back?"
No, unfortunately not. But I do have an update on the airport.
Well, good. Also, Elliot's articles and the Spooky Family was great. Keep up the ear candy, Elliot, Roswell.
So the update on the
airport,
the Denver International Airport.
Do you want to give that now, or do you want to wait till later on in the show?
We can give it later on in the show. I was just because she was excited about us calling people. So.
Yeah, I've actually got that in segment 3. So
okay, well,
but Cronkite will have an update on the Denver airport.
It's exciting, so stay tuned. Right.
Exactly.
Justin from Kentucky says,
And this is also the Justin that has the podcast Talk Junkie.
he says, my name is Justin. I'm a fairly new listener. First, I love the show, and secondly, I may now be addicted. I love the simulation discussion very much, and it is one of my favorite conspiracy theories. I am not a big believer in CT, but they are so much fun. I like to discuss them for both sides. In regards to simulation theory, I think that it is a great mental exercise, is the meaning of life. I also always believed that in the slim chance it's real, that nostalgia is an important part of the theory. The love for certain time periods, and even more, the longing for them, may well result in reboots relating to the mentally enslaved from those decades. In regards to the Denver airport, I always assumed it had a secondary intended use as a military emergency base. With its proximity to important bases and its proximity to NORAD, the longer runways could easily be more for military cargo planes, underground buildings, and excessive budget smells of military industrial complex for sure. In the event of a missile strike on the American soil, it's in a good place, a good location for a retreat command scenario. Just some thoughts. Keep up the great shows. Also, in regards to old school wrestling, are you a Flair for Hogan guy? I'm a horseman for life. Roswell. P.S. Not been listening long enough to get the Roswell ending to the letters yet.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Justin, for writing in, and everyone be sure to check out Talk Junkie with Justin. To answer your question, I always preferred the old school NWA wrestling, Jim Cornette and Midnight Express. Nothing beats them.
WCW, Lex Luthor.
Lex
Luger.
No, yeah, but he started out in the NWA. Lex Luger.
Yeah, I was a kid when I watched it. I remember he came to the
to Pikeville.
Yeah, he came to the college, the gym down here, and did a show. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Sting was with him.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Now, as far as like the airport goes, I think that's kind of what the conclusion that you and I came to when we were talking about it. Yes, we think that it for sure is a military industrial complex because of its location. It's perfect for, like you said, a missile strike command center, and its proximity to the several air bases, the research and development centers of Boeing and was it Boeing?
Yes,
Boeing and Lockheed Martin, as well as the tunnels, underground structures, could also all lead to NORAD or hundreds of miles of bunkers for elites, for the higher ups.
Exactly. We want to thank all of our listeners for writing in. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396, or they can email us.
Goose at heretochewbubblegum.com or Cronkite at heretochewbubblegum.com. You can email Ned and Elliot at heretochewbubblegum@yahoo.com. Attention, Ned or Elliot. You could also leave or text our Facebook page.
Yes.
And first of all, let me apologize for the way my voice sounds today. I feel like I've got some sort of sinus.
This is some of the best sounds that you've ever created. You shouldn't apologize for it.
Well, that makes me sad. No, I think the allergies are really getting to me right now, so I apologize if anybody...
So you can't smell anything?
I can smell something.
I smelled that big fart you let about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I can smell stuff. I just don't... I don't know. I feel like my throat is... I don't know. It's weird.
Just move back from the mic. I want you to do this. Move back from the mic and go, Ricola!
There's no way I can do that.
Why?
Because I'll pass out.
Okay. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Cronkite is going to start out segment 1 and talking about Elon Musk and his Neuralink.
Wait, I get to be on segment 1 this time?
Yes, you do, buddy.
Holy crap.
Yes, you do.
That's awesome.
That is great.
It's a promotion, guys.
Yes, it is. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
When you want fresh, authentic Mexican food, you want El Picante in Coal Run. Dine on sizzling hot fajitas, the freshest pico de gallo, or if you're craving their secret ingredient jalapeno dip, the only place you'll find it is El Picante. Look, there are Mexican restaurants on every corner. The difference is in the mouth-watering food and the great service you'll get at El Picante in Coal Run. Visit El Picante for lunch today.
I've got a gun, and I've got my pills behind the door. The page reveals words in red, they do not fail.
And welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum. I am Goose. A guy across from the table is Cronkite.
Hello.
And so we're going to open up segment 1, and you're going to talk about Elon Musk or Nikola Tesla. Correct?
Yeah, well, it's...
The reason I said Nikola Tesla is because, you think that Elon Musk is Nikola Tesla reincarnated.
I think he's his clone, not reincarnated.
Clone. Sorry.
But that's not neither here nor there.
Okay.
We want to talk about Neuralink, one of Elon Musk's companies.
Now, I've heard a little bit about this, but don't know a lot about it.
This is truly fascinating stuff. What little bit I've read into this last time this week has been this is a game changer for people with paralysis, for people who've lost limbs, for people. That's not the only. That is not the only application here. Can you think about a world where your thoughts pay for your food, or pay for your clothes, or order something from Amazon, or control your vehicle, or what? This is just the tipping point of where we're going. And also reading into this,
I would like that world.
Oh, definitely, and it's on its way. This is also Elon Musk also owns a company called OpenAI, and he's always been saying that if AI would be the downfall of our society if it goes unchecked.
Right.
This is a way to keep it in check, according to Elon Musk.
Okay.
So Elon Musk finally got to show off his monkey.
Okay.
Neuralink, a company founded by Musk that is developing artificial intelligence-powered microchips to go into people's brains, released a video Thursday appearing to show a macaque using the tech to play video games, including Pong. Now, I watched this video.
Okay.
Of course, with an animal, you have to train the behavior. So with that, they gave him like a banana smoothie.
Right.
As long as he would keep doing his thing. The video goes on to show, it first starts out, he's eating the smoothie, playing this game with a joystick.
Right.
Then as the experiment goes on, they unplug the joystick. He's still using the joystick. And then later on, the joystick is completely removed, and this monkey is using his brain to control the Pong game on the screen. It's amazing. You have to watch this video. Musk has boasted about Neuralink's tests on primates before, but this is the first time the company has put one on display. During a presentation in 2019, Musk said that the company had enabled a monkey to control a computer with its brain. In August 2020, the company did a live demonstration of the technology in a pig named Gertrude. Neuralink says the monkey's name, Pager, had a chip implanted in his brain 6 weeks ago. In the video, he was given a joystick that was hooked up to a video game in which he moves the cursor to a colored square. When he successfully moves the cursor, he's given some banana smoothie through a tube. While Pager uses the joystick, the Neuralink chip records his brain activity and sends it back to a computer for analysis of what his brain does when he moves his hand. The joystick is then unplugged from the machine, but the monkey continues to control the game, with brain signals being relayed by the Neuralink chips. Theoretically, the same tech could be used to give people control of synthetic limbs via Neuralink brain implant. In a tweet on Thursday, Musk said the first Neuralink product would let people with paralysis control a smartphone.
That is awesome.
That's fantastic. Andrew Jackson, a neuroscience expert who is a professor at Newcastle University, told Insider that getting primates to control video games via neural interfaces was not new. Comparable demonstrations were done in 2002, but said it was a good test of the tech. If you invent a new telescope, it makes sense to first point it where you know what you will see. So they are following a very sensible route to validate their device. I am sure that this device will contribute to new scientific discoveries in the future, especially if they make it widely available to scientists, as well as improving the usability of existing neural interface technologies for people with paralysis. Jackson added that the engineering of the device being implanted wirelessly into pager's skull was a significant advance. What is definitely new and innovative is that there is no cables coming from the skin, and the brain signals are all being sent wirelessly. This, to me, is the advance here, and it is important for both improving the safety of human applications. Wires to the skin are usually, potential route for infection, and also a way of improving the welfare of the animals used in neuroscience studies. The Neuralink team has definitely made progress in this regard. Riley Green, a bioengineering researcher at Imperial College in London, also praised pager's apparent welfare. The best thing I can see from the video is that the macaque is freely moving, she said. There's no visible package connected to it, and it would say it's definitely progress. Not super innovative, but a nice positive step forward. So, we're saving our monkeys, and we're getting some new tech.
Right. Elon Musk has just got, he's like, I don't even know what I'm tongue-tied. He has just got his hand in everything.
Yes,
and it
definitely
seems like everything that he touches turns to gold or is a great idea to help mankind and technology.
Definitely.
And that's just mind-blowing.
So a little background on the Neuralink Corporation. It's a neurotechnology company founded by Elon Musk and others developing implantable brain-machine interfaces, or BMIs. The company's headquarters is in San Francisco, and it was started in 2016 and was first publicly reported in March of 2017. Neuralink announced that it was working on a sewing machine-like device capable of implanting very thin threads into the brain, and demonstrated a system that read information from a lab rat via 1,500 electrodes. They had implanted starting experiments in humans in 2020, but have since moved that projection to this year of 2021. In April 17, the blog Wait But Why reported that the company was aiming to make devices to treat serious brain diseases in the short term, with the eventual goal of human enhancement, sometimes called transhumanism. Musk said that his interest in the idea partly stemmed from the science fiction concept of Neurolace in the fictional universe in The Culture, a series of 10 novels by Lane M. Banks. Musk defined the neural lace as a digital layer above the cortex that would not necessarily imply extensive surgical insertion, but ideally an implant through a vein or artery. Musk explained that the long-term goal is to achieve symbiosis with artificial intelligence, which he perceives as an existential threat to humanity if it goes unchecked. As of 2017, some neuroprosthetics can interpret brain signals and allow disabled people to control their prosthetic limbs and arms and legs. Musk spoke of aiming to link that technology with implants instead of actuating the movement, can interface with broadband speed with other types of external software and gadgets.
Wow, that's fascinating. Now let me ask you a question. It's 2026. The technology's been around 10 years. You've had some humans successfully do it, and they come up with something, and they're like, hey, if you do this, this will expand your mind. This will create, and you'll be able to use more of your brain. Would you do it?
Sure.
Really? You'd have brain surgery?
Oh, but a brain surgery?
Well, I mean, isn't that basically what they do? They cut into your skull and put this stuff in your brain?
Well, no, they don't actually do that. What they do is that these implants, they're wirelessly, so they're actually they lift the skin up.
Okay.
And they don't have to drill into your skull or anything, the best I can understand.
But they do put them under your skin.
They do put them under your skin, yes.
So would you have that done?
Oh, yeah. That
really?
would be no different than, getting blood drawn or something, I would imagine.
Well.
But
We are living in a great age for science and technology and medicine, and very, very fascinating.
Yeah, and it's strange to think Musk is one of these guys who really believe in the simulation theory, but it sounds like he's moving us towards a simulation.
I don't believe in the simulation theory. Do you?
I don't know. I'd have to have more information on it. Here's the thing, though. We were talking about like last week when if you could live forever.
Yes.
Your consciousness could
Right.
live forever as long as the hardware was supporting it.
Right.
That kind of seems like
That kind of goes along with it.
Yeah, that kind of seems like what's happening there.
Definitely. Well, we talked about the Neurolink, which can, I guess, make you smarter. Now we're going to talk about dumb.
It can't make you smarter.
It could, maybe later on.
Maybe later on, yeah.
Now we're going to talk about dumb.
Okay.
And we're not going to talk about you.
Oh, okay.
You know what dumb is?
I don't.
Okay. Dumb stands for Deep Underground Military Bases.
Oh, okay.
Unknown to most Americans is a dark secret, and it's right under our noses. It's the reality of the existence of deep underground military bases. In America alone, there are over 120 deep underground military bases situated in most major cities. The U.S. Air Force bases, U.S. Army bases, U.S. Navy bases, as well as underneath FEMA military training campuses and DHS control centers. There are also many deep underground military bases in Canada. Almost all of these bases are over 2 miles underground and have diameters ranging from 10 miles up to 30 miles across.
Wow.
Now, I can't think of what the name of the map is called, but you can search underground tunnels or underground military bases of the United States, and it will actually show you where they think some of these are at and how far they stretch. Some of these in like past Texas, they stretch all the way up to Area 51.
Oh, wow.
I have saw pictures of that, and this is truly fascinating.
That's pretty intense.
They've been building these bases day and night since the 1940s. Oh, 1940s. We know what happened in 1947.
Yeah.
These bases are basically large underground cities connected by high-speed trains that can reach speeds up to 1,500 miles an hour. Wow. Several books have been written about this activity. Richard Sauter, a Ph.D. architect, risked his life by talking about this. He's the author of a book, Underground Military Bases and Tunnels, What the Government is Trying to Hide. He worked with a number of government agencies on deep underground military bases. The average depth of these bases is over a mile, and they again are basically whole cities underground. They have nuclear-powered laser drilling machines that can drill a tunnel 7 miles long in 1 day. So basically what they use to make these tunnels, their nuclear-powered tunnel machine burrows in through the ground, into the rock, deep underground, and it heats whatever stone it encounters into molten rock. Mm-hmm. This technology is real. It does exist. The government does have it. The black projects sidestep the authority of Congress, which we know is illegal, and there is much evidence out there to support underground military bases. The U.S. government, through the NSA, DOD, CIA, DIA, ATF, ONI, U.S. Army, U.S. Marine Corps, FEMA, and the Department of Homeland Security, have spent in excess of $12 trillion building massive covert underground infrastructures.
Wow.
So, what do you think the government is hiding in the dumbs?
It's hard to say. In a previous life, when I was a driver,
okay,
I was a, I'm just going to go and say it. I was a truck driver.
You were a UPS man.
Yes.
No.
Speaking with several of my colleagues that worked for the same company or different companies or whatever, they would tell me of stories that they would drive into New York City or drive out into the middle of the desert with a cattle gate and park, and their truck would slowly
Really?
elevator underground.
Wow.
And this was the most impressive one was he was in New York City and pulled into what looked like a parking garage, and the truck lowered underground. He wasn't allowed to get out. He could feel him back there unloading his truck, and then it raised it back up, and he left.
That is fascinating. Now, so do you know what part of the desert when he was out? And he would just stop at a cattle gate.
He would stop. He had a handwritten map of where he had to go. He would stop. There would be a cattle gate there. He would open it up, or it would open up, I think is what he said. He would drive out to a certain, however many miles he was supposed to go out into the desert. He would stop, and then a couple guys in Humvees or pickups or whatever would come out, and the truck would lower down. He would get unloaded, would lower back, raise back up, and he would leave.
Now, let me ask you a question on it. Did you yourself ever experience any of these?
No. I never.
Okay.
I never did. Now, there were certain deliveries that I did make that I was never allowed to know really what the cargo was. So I have no idea. I could have.
What did it say on your manifest, though?
Usually it'll say something along the lines of, I really don't want to say.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. If and you can tell me when we take a break here in a minute. Let's say you're one buddy that would go out into the desert. Mm-hmm. Now, the first time that he ever done that, do you think they explained to him, "Hey, this is a secret project"?
Nope. Nope. But now he didn't have any information.
But could you just imagine the feeling that you're going out to a dirt road, stopping at a cattle gate, and I mean you're out in nowhere. I mean, to me.
Well, and
that sounds like a personal safety issue.
The only inclination that you would have of what you're doing is what it would say on the manifest. Okay. And I'll tell you what it says after that. And now they don't have the same guy every time.
Right.
So
but it looks like these trucking companies would want to have the same people making these same deliveries so they know the routine, they know the procedure.
Yeah, you would think so, but you would be surprised at how much stuff is actually transported on our roads without us knowing about it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it would make sense. Not every convoy is going to have a armed guard or several black SUVs around it. So why not? Why not just have every truck driver?
I know that some of these trucks that have the USA trucks, those have escorts with people in Tahoes and blacked out vehicles.
Now there are some,
and they do have people, leading the way or following them as well.
Now there are some trucks that
don't ask me how I know that. I will tell you during the break.
Yeah, there are some trucks that noticeably have escorts with them, and usually that's like munitions of some kind.
Right.
But I feel like I shouldn't be talking about this.
Why?
I don't know. But anyways.
Did you sign a non-disclosure form?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then you're good.
All right. But then there are certain stuff, where you're either not followed as closely maybe, so that you don't really notice it. Like the ones that I remember that I had, I won't say that, I know for a fact that I was hauling anything nefarious or whatever, but the one thing that I would say that I know is that occasionally I would get a glimpse of the same vehicle no matter where I was at.
You would see it.
Yeah. So, and that was only occasionally. That was only like when they got close enough for me to see.
Okay.
But I think, obviously they're probably going to keep GPS in their cargo so they're going to know where you are all the time.
Now, years ago, I had a buddy named Dave the Cop.
Okay.
Dave the Cop was telling me this story that he pulled over one of the trucks, the white truck that has the USA symbol on it. It says USA truck. Mm-hmm. Shortly after, about maybe 5 minutes, my buddy Dave the Cop, there was this black SUV that came up and pulled in behind Dave the Cop. And, they flashed a government badge and said that, that truck needed to go now. And so my friend Dave the Cop, let him go.
Yeah.
This was this was like 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And Dave the Cop had never heard that before. And Dave the cop came really close to pulling his firearm on these guys in the black SUV.
Well, that would have been a mistake.
So yes, it would have been. But
I mean, I guess you would have to. I mean, I guess that would make sense. You don't have a clue what kind of SUV just pulled up behind you, and why there's men walking towards you. Of course,
yes,
it feels no safety.
Let me just say too that Dave the cop has never stopped any of those USA trucks
Ever again.
So,
interestingly enough, there's a USA truck parked not far from here.
Yes, and it has been there at least 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
So
I wonder what that's about.
It's probably empty because it's parked there like that.
Let's go find out.
Let's go. We're going to take a break and
we're going to go find out
Elliot's articles, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Are you a horror movie fan? Yeah, I dig horror movies. Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to? Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy. Then you need to tune into deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
Researching the inner workings of the net to bring you stories of the strange and unusual. It's Elliot's Articles on Here to Chew Bubblegum. Take it away, Elliot.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Elliot with Elliot's Articles on the Here to Chew Bubblegum podcast. I am here once again with my spooky family. I love that. That is so good. But anyway, I have Gertie to my right. I have Legal Beagle over here on my left, and we are going to just talk today. Last week we talked a little bit about Edgar Cayce, and we unveiled the truth of the assassin horse and how. But since then,
Hopkinsville goblins in the water.
Yes. But since then, Legal Beagle has come up with a new theory, and that the horse is actually the person who had the powers, I think, and held Edgar Cayce's grandpa under the pond.
Yeah, and by that transferred the power
Highlander style.
to Edgar Cayce.
Yeah. Okay, we're not going to be all crazy today, I promise. That was just a little bit of fun to get us into this and get us out of the way. But I'm going to do a mini round table with my spooky family. And I'm just going to ask a couple questions. Now, usually, if I'm going to be honest, there is one more member of the spooky family that should be here for what I'm going to do, and that is my blood brother, who has been on many of our little adventures with us sometimes, and but he's not here. He's out in the world now, living in the hills,
As they do.
Mm-hmm. Cave.
He's forgot all about us, and that's fine.
A wild man, really.
Wild man, yes. And we call him Hermit Bob. Hermit Bob is out there somewhere. God bless you, Hermit Bob. May your new life be fulfilling. Mm-hmm. But the spooky family, we're here. At least 3 of us are here in the studio. So, guys, what was the first time? What influenced you? What got you interested in the supernatural? We'll start with Beagle on my left.
Okay. There was a story that my mother would tell.
Mother Beagle.
When she was younger, they had to walk quite a distance in order to catch the bus in the mornings.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah, and 10 feet of snow.
Right.
These kids
today.
But She said that she was always followed at night or at the very early mornings by a soft. She said she described it as soft, but she never could touch it. It was just a very soft, glowing orange light. She said it would dance around into the trees, and it would follow her all the way to the end of the holler while they picked her up for school.
Yeah. For those who might be listening in other places, in case you haven't heard from Goose or Cronkite or myself, when we say holler, we're talking about like a hollow of a place where like
It's a road that goes
surrounded
into the
by mountains on
yeah.
3 sides, basically.
Yeah.
But we say it the correct and proper way, which is holler, and that's how we'll always say it. Mm-hmm. We do have international listeners. That's why.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I am also I'm a gigantic hick.
Well, no, I mean,
You
we
can
all
probably tell from
we all are.
my
Trust me.
accent and
Actually, Elliot's articles is the time of the show where people like go use the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
so no one's listening.
no one.
No.
Doesn't
Not
really matter.
really.
Nothing
no.
I say matters.
No. No. The only real popular part of the show is when Ned does Ned Said. But
How can we get on that? We do good here.
I'm trying, man.
Okay.
I'm trying really hard.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so that was. I mean, did you?
I mean, and she is.
she don't mess around.
She doesn't believe in that.
No.
And when she tells that, it's kind of confusing because it's confusing to her because she
Right.
doesn't understand. But it's something that she vividly remembers from her childhood.
Right.
And she says that all of her sisters can attest to the same orb.
And she's not the only person from that area that's had that experience as well. I've actually asked other people about that on the other side of the hollow,
No. Listen at her. She's trying to be
Yeah.
proper.
Yeah.
the holler.
Pitiful.
That they have the same or similar experiences.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Gertie, what about you?
Well, maybe first started to ask questions after I was younger, and I would have these not Edgar Casey dreams, but very odd little snippets of just everyday mundane life.
Right.
And then I'd have deja vu later in my waking life.
She's part of the Matrix.
Yeah, I'm part of the Matrix. I took the blue pill.
Both pills.
Both
I can
pills.
I can
I mixed 'em.
honestly
Shattered
attest
that.
to the fact that she still has pretty vivid weird dreams.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I
But
mean,
usually,
nothing.
Usually it's mundane things. It's like,
Yeah.
picking up a hairbrush or going to the store and picking up a can of soup. Just random things.
Right,
Not really.
right.
Yeah, but they'll stop me in my tracks, though. It's very odd.
That goes into the whole, Goose and Cronkite and the boys. They all love to talk about John Titor and the different alternate dimensions and things. And I sometimes wonder if deja vu isn't part of that. Like you're experiencing something from one of your other alternates. Yeah.
It's kind of bleeding over into your dimension.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it, but it's possible. I think mine is pretty mundane compared to your all's. So I watched the movie Ghostbusters, and I was like, I want to do that. And I remember I was at my elementary school. I remember this. I was in 7th grade, and they come around to talk to us. They gave us the speech about you have to plan your futures now. We've got to get if you don't start planning for if you don't start planning for your college now, you're never going to get in 7th grade.
So
Did
obviously
you find
you
a
freaking
parapsychology?
I did find so I looked. So this is a weird story, but I feel like I can share it with my listeners. So my listeners, I feel like I can share it with Goose and Cronkite's listeners.
There you go.
Because no one's listening. Everybody's using the bathroom.
As yet.
But so I started looking up. I was like, well, I want to be a Ghostbuster. So I started looking in all these books about, I was looking in the index, like, Ghostbuster, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? And I never could find anything. Didn't realize at the time,
Dan
even though I
Aykroyd
was even though I was a 7th grader, didn't realize that there wasn't really
Or
such
an old
things as a
movie
ghost.
that he stole not really stole, but repurposed the name for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That one had a talking monkey though. That
Well,
was
yeah.
that was cool. For those of y'all who don't know, there was a Ghostbusters before Ghostbusters, and it had a huge talking monkey as part of the team. But anyway, so I
wasn't successful.
who would have thought? Who would have thought? But I found parapsychology, and I wasn't really that dumb. I knew there wasn't such thing as Ghostbusters, but I looked up parapsychology, and the closest place that I could find that had like a really good parapsychology department was Duke University. Now, I'm from Kentucky. Exactly. I'm from Kentucky.
I still hate Leitner.
Yeah, everybody hates Leitner. Even Duke hates Leitner. But I just could not, for the life of me, go to Duke, no matter what. So I ended up doing something else completely. But no, that's probably where my stuff comes from. Now, ghosts, like I've said on the show before, ghosts are my jam. I like UFOs. I like conspiracy theories. Gertie can attest that the majority of the time I'm talking about some kind of weird conspiracy theory that Goose or Cronkite or somebody's talking about. But ghosts are my jam. And I know this podcast we don't really get into ghosts a lot. We probably won't until, right around Halloween or so. But that's where I come in. So, real quick, since we are a conspiracy website, and let's start. We'll go back around. We'll start with Gertie this time. Gertie, what is your favorite conspiracy?
My favorite conspiracy? I've always liked art history. And I have actually traveled to Rome before and stayed in Vatican City.
Okay.
So, the Vatican Bank stuff.
The Blackfriars
Bridge, stuff like that really intrigues me. I haven't read about it in a very long time, so I can't really discuss it today.
Right. No, I completely understand.
I need all the information now.
No, we need all of it.
In 1817.
Okay, so Goose and Cronkite, if you ever do anything about Blackfriar or the P2 Masonic Lodge in Vatican City, contact Gertie. She's got all your information. Or she will have. Beagle, what about you?
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Oh, you and Ned would get along so well.
Wow.
It is true, though. I have this presentation that I do in my day job where I actually prove that it actually can, but yeah, I understand. I think my favorite conspiracy theory, besides the Montauk Project, I've already done Montauk on the show, and besides the Men in Black, I've already done Men in Black on the show. And I don't really know if you would call it a conspiracy theory or not, but Mothman. Oh, I love Mothman.
Yeah.
I don't think he's conspiracy though. He's more cryptid.
Well, what would you a conspiracy
Crypto,
though?
yeah.
I mean, like it. Not to say that it's not.
Well,
true,
let me just go ahead and tell you. I think this Ingersoll Lockwood thing's pretty up there. That Ned introduced me to, and Ned keeps pushing for us to do. But
for the Mothman, though, I mean, it pretty much spanned the whole town.
It does.
That fervor, that
well, you have so much that goes into that into Point Pleasant, and I'm hoping to take the Spooky family
road trip
out to a road trip to Point Pleasant sometime this summer, and we may all get together again sometime in the summer and do a Point Pleasant.
Can we take the microphones too?
We might.
Point Pleasant.
It might be Spooky family on the road. Who knows? But I don't know. I guess it is. Well, let's finish it up. Let's finish it up, and let's go back the other way, and let's do favorite cryptid. What you got, Beagle?
I know what's gonna be.
You put me directly on the spot.
What's it gonna be?
Oh man, there's so many, and they're all so good.
I don't think they're all good. I don't like the lizard man of Pope Lick. You know.
Don't you say that about
No, that
my
guy's.
dad.
I don't think. That's my dad, man.
That could have been that horse.
I think it was the horse.
My favorite cryptid is the horse
that killed Edgar Casey's grandpa.
Old glue.
Oh yeah. So listen, if we ever need a band name, the horse that killed Edgar Casey's grandpa's right up there.
Called
performing one time tonight only. I'm
Their
gonna
biggest
go
hit
with
is Under the Sea.
They played at the Enchantment Under the Sea
Sea
dance.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to say it's probably a three-way tie,
Ooh.
and it's I want to call them the big three:
Okay.
Bigfoot, Chupacabra,
Okay.
Mothman.
Oh, nice. Now
I
see,
thought you were gonna say the rake.
that's what I
can't-
thought too. I
we
thought
can't-
I was gonna say the right.
Okay,
I know he
I have
scares you.
dived,
I know I'm seeing you
yeah,
shake. It's fine.
deeply into the rake, and
Really?
yeah,
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
I'm
We don't want to
I'm
talk about
about-
personal feelings here.
I'm about 50 to 60% sure it's a Reddit thing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think,
but what was Reddit before? Maybe people talking on town
It
square.
was,
People,
4chan.
Oh god. Okay, we're gonna stop at
I mean,
4chan.
low tech.
All right.
Low tech.
Let's go. Let's go to Gertie. Gertie, what's yours?
Probably the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes, good job. I like the Loch Ness Monster.
I just like
solid.
Scotland in
I do.
general.
It's solid.
I had already. I think you're right. And plus, the Loch Ness Monster's got all the Aleister Crowley,
Black House.
Yeah, and Led Zeppelin. While we're at it, if you want.
Jimmy Page bought
And-
Black House.
And the fact that the Lochs are part of the Scottish Highlands, which is actually part of the Appalachian Mountains when Pangea was together, so it's all connected with where we live.
Could have some goblins over there.
Could have some goblins. Or maybe it is a goblin. Maybe it's an
Maybe
underwater
that's
goblin. The Fae. See, we need to do Spooky Family talks about the Fae. That would be awesome, actually. I'm sure Goose and Cronkite are like, enough with the Spooky Family. Let's get back to the weird stuff. But then I'll end the show then with my favorite cryptid, and like I said, it's Mothman is my favorite. But if I had to have a second favorite,
The Cloverfield Monster.
why has he got the boots? My second favorite one is probably I've lost complete control of my brain now.
Oh, no.
No, my second favorite cryptid is probably the goblins from Hopkinsville. Because those guys are, I could just see them walking with their arms over their head, going, hey guys, what's up? And then they get shot. And
Well, that
they
brings a
just
good
run
point
away.
too. Like extraterrestrial versus cryptid or interdimensional being. What are these things?
Is
in
Bigfoot
general?
is Bigfoot just something walking in the woods that accidentally hits a portal, like on Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah.
Does he hit a portal and he just pops up in the woods, and that's why we can't find him
I always
because
like to think of it like as the thinny.
yeah,
A
from-
Thinny from Stephen King universe. So if
Yeah.
you're familiar with that, but it
Thanks,
makes me think of a
Stephen.
Thinny with primordial beings on the other side.
Stephen
that
King is
slip
an
through.
awesome author, and he comes up with some great ideas. But the ending of the Mist movie is my favorite thing, and I know he didn't really have
That's
a lot
Frank
to do with.
Darabont,
I
so,
know
yeah.
that's not Stephen King, but that's my favorite Stephen King related thing. Well, guys, this has been another episode of Elliot's Articles with my special guest, the Spooky Family. Here on the Here to Chew Bubblegum podcast. Don't forget, my boys are going to be on WXLR tonight at 10 o'clock. I forgot to plug them last week, but they will be on there tonight at 10 for the people in our area. That video will be uploaded onto YouTube later. Dear listeners, please stay vigilant. Elliot, out.
Greetings.
We come in peace.
Hello, everyone. I'm Goose.
I'm Cronkite.
Be sure to join us every Sunday at 10 p.m.
What are we joining them for?
for our show here to Chew Bubblegum.
That's
on
exciting.
104.9 WXLR.
That's tough. I like it.
You like it?
I like it. 104.9 WXLR, one of my favorites.
Ear candy to the extreme on Here to Chew Bubblegum. Sunday nights, 10 p.m. on this station.
You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail for Here to Chew Bubblegum. 606-373-3396. You can also send an email to goose@heretochewbubblegum.com or cronkite@heretochewbubblegum.com. I can't believe what you do, and I'm so hung up on you. My feelings never show through, and it's time you knew.
And welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum. I am Cronkite. As always, that band across the table, Goose. Goose, how are you?
I am Goose. I am good, my friend. I am good.
Well, fantastic. So we're going to talk about Project Pegasus and Andrew D Baciago.
Baciago.
Yeah, and so I kind of got this. This
Oh
guy's-
man, Baciago's boy.
Yeah, so I got this. I got this guy from our
Art Bell tribute show.
Art Bell tribute show because he was one of the guests on Coast to Coast AM
Yes.
or Midnight in the Desert. Which one was he on?
I think he was on Coast to
Yeah, I
Coast
think he was
AM.
on Coast to Coast.
And I think he might have been too on Midnight in the Desert.
Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about Andrew D Baciago. Little background on him is the team leader of Project Pegasus. Andrew Baciago is a lawyer, writer, and a 21st century visionary. He is an emerging figure in the disclosure movement who is leading a campaign to lobby the United States government to disclosure, such as controversial truths, as the fact that Mars harbors life and that the United States has achieved quantum access to past and future events. He has been identified as the first of two major planetary whistleblowers predicted by Alta, the webbot project that analyzes the content of the World Wide Web to discern future trends. Baciago claims that as a child he participated in a top-secret series of government-operated experiments called Project Pegasus. The program was run by Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, to test the various means of teleporting and traveling both backward and forward in time. Baciago said he's on a mission to pressure the federal government to disclosure its time travel and teleportation capabilities. He doesn't want the public to have access to time travel. It would create mass chaos, he said. But he contends teleportation could save the world from global warming by providing an emissions-free form of travel that could replace airplanes. According to Baciago, the seeds of time travel were discovered by Nikola Tesla, an inventor and futurist who lived from 1856 to 1943. Tesla discovered a form of energy called radiant energy, which is latent and pervasive in the physical universe. It's something modern theoreticians can't describe because they've never experienced it, like asking someone to describe swimming when they've never experienced water. Excuse me.
You're excused.
If properly focused, the energy can literally bend the fabric of space and time. The government acquired Tesla's papers from his hotel room after he died in 1943. That's the theory behind time travel and teleportation, but how does it work? Baciago said that he remembers the teleportation machine looked like a pair of parentheses, each one about 8 feet tall and standing about 10 feet from one another. When the machine was turned on, radiant energy began broadcasting between the two parentheses-like devices. The energy shimmered like water. His dad, who was an engineer and the chief technician liaison between Ralph Parsons' company and the CIA on Tesla teleportation, according to Baciago, explained that they would hold hands, and at the count of 3, they'd jump through the energy field and find themselves in a tunnel. When it closed, they'd end up on a hillside far away from New Jersey. He said they might get separated, and if so, he should stay put to find his dad.
You okay there? Have you swallowed a spider?
No, I'm just allergies.
No, it's not allergies. Just reading about Andrew Baciago gets you choked up, doesn't it?
It's a terribly.
He has that effect on me.
He found himself teleported into a vortal tunnel, opened by the inertia of their bodies hitting the radiant energy field, like air pushing against a bubble wand to form a bubble. The tunnel emanated a bluish light, and when Baciago looked to his left or right, he saw intervening events flash by. Essentially, in a sense, the whole universe was being moved past us. He saw a tiny pinprick of light in the middle of the tunnel. Meanwhile, the tunnel began to compartmentalize. The light got bigger, and it hit them quickly. Baciago's dad was pulled through the wall, and Baciago found himself suddenly in the state capitol complex of Santa Fe. Baciago said by 1970, the government had developed 8 major forms of time travel. The government developed the technology for the purposes of intelligence gathering. Some methods, he said, were unreliable for intelligence because they sometimes provided information from parallel universes. Chronovision was such a method, he said. Chronovision allowed moments in the past or future to be captured on film as a 2-dimensional image, like a movie. Baciago said Chronovision was used to capture footage of Abraham Lincoln, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But when the projection was holographic, it turned into a form of time travel. He said he used a
Are you okay?
I'm just getting choked up here. This Chronovision just really gets to me. He said, where was I? He said that he used a holographic form of Chronovision multiple times to travel to Ford's Theater on the night of Lincoln's assassination in 1865. He said his experience was different each time, presumably because he was slipping into a different parallel timeline. Other time travel methods actually opened up a sort of tunnel between both time and space and were limited to our own universe, and therefore were more reliable. He said he was sent to 2013 using a holographic form of Chronovision and saw images of the U.S. Supreme Court building under brackish water. His vision may come true before the year is over, but it has never been from a different timeline. He said, "Let me be clear, we're in 2021. It didn't happen."
Right. Definitely.
He also traveled to 2045 to a building with maintained lawn-like vegetation growing on the outside walls. He said his mission was to retrieve a microfilm canister and return it to his present. When asked what 2045 was like, he notes he was only there for about 5 minutes and didn't learn much. He noted young people seemed to be taller and thinner, perhaps suggesting better prenatal health care. Baciago claims the U.S. government has used time travel to learn about the Watergate scandal, AIDS, widespread cell phone use, and the 9/11 terrorist attack. Young President Thomas Manny said that he thought Baciago gave a compelling talk and called him a great whistleblower, comparing him to Edward Snowden. Let's see. Baciago maintains a website called ProjectPegasus.net where he writes about his investigation into the project. He says he's writing a book about his experience and plans to run for president in 2016. Did he run for president in 2016?
He did on like an independent type form.
Okay. Do you want me to read the Coast to Coast interview?
Sure.
All right. So appearing on all 4 hours of the show, Andrew D. Baciago discussed his experience with the secret DARPA program Project Pegasus and what he claimed to be the true history of U.S. time travel, researching a teleportation technology. As a child, he said his father volunteered him to be inducted into the experimental program as a trainee or guinea pig. From the years of 69 to 72. He described being teleported from a location of Woodbridge, New Jersey to Santa Fe, New Mexico via a device derived from Tesla technology. A cavern opens up into the fabric of time and space that is wrapped around the teleportees as they reposition to a new location. He explained, adding that it's more like TV show sliders than the teleporters on Star Trek. During this time, he said he witnessed an accident in which a boy's feet were sheared off after he was teleported. He also talked about the teleportation technology could be used for time travel and the development of Coronal Visors, which allowed holographic recordings to be made of historically significant events such as the crucifixion of Jesus and the signing of the U.S. Constitution. In one Coronal Visor recording of the future, he was able to witness in 1971, he described seeing the U.S. Supreme Court building under 100 feet of brackish water in 2013, which we just talked about.
Right.
Suggesting, of course, the entire eastern seaboard would have been flooded. Time travel technology enabled the U.S. to win the Cold War as the government teleported military secrets into the future to store for safekeeping. The technology was also used to brief U.S. presidents like Clinton, the Bushes, and Obama about their destiny years before they became president. He also asserted that Donald Rumsfeld and Governor Bill Richardson both served in Project Pegasus, and he invited them to come forward with the truth. Andrew D. Baciago, what a true American.
Oh, yes. And you were mentioning the Coronal Visor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to talk about that.
Well, that's a nice little segue.
Before I talk about that,
mm-hmm.
How come it seems like when you talk about UFO technology,
mm-hmm.
when you talk about time travel,
mm-hmm.
there's always one certain group of people that pop up and seem to be connected to this. And I'm talking about the Nazis. Again, Nazis are bad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about, what are you thinking, sir?
I was going to say the Navy, but you said the Nazis.
Yes. Now, there's
4 letters in Navy and 4 letters in Nazi.
Oh, now see, you're going to an area there that I'm not going to. I'm not going to comment on that.
You heard it here first, folks.
Nope, I'm not commenting on that. The Coronal Visor, described by Father Francis Brune in his 2002 book called The Vatican's New Mystery, was allegedly a functional time viewer. Brune is the author of several books on the paranormal and religion. In this book, The Vatican's New Mystery, Brune relates that the Coronal Visor was built by, and I'm going to take my time pronouncing these names.
Okay.
Pellegrino Ernti, an Italian priest and scientist. Although Ernti was a real person, the existence and functionality of the Coronal Visor has never been confirmed. Its alleged capabilities are strongly reminisced about in the fictional time viewer, which is featured in T.L. Shedrid's 1947 science fiction novella called E for Effort. Some background on the Coronal Visor. In the early 1960s, Ernetta began to study the writings of Francis Brune himself, a Roman Catholic priest and author. Ernetti allegedly ended up helping Brune construct the time machine as members of a team which included 12 world-famous scientists. He identified two of them, the first one being Enrico Fermi and Werner von Braun. Mm-hmm. The Coronal Visor was described as a large cabinet with a cathode ray tube for viewing the received events and a series of buttons, levers, and other controls for selecting the time and location to be viewed. It could also locate and track specific individuals according to its inventor. It worked by receiving, decoding, and reproducing the electromagnetic radiation left behind from past events. It could also pick up audio components or sound waves emitted by these same events. Ernetti lacked hard evidence of these claims, and he said that he observed among historical events the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and photographed this event as well. The legend of the Coronal Visor, a time machine hidden in the Vatican from the 1960s until the 1990s. Father Anetti claimed that he helped people create a time machine called the Coronal Visor, which he used to observe the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. From the unsolved disappearance of Emanuele Orlandi in 1983 to a covert collection of documents known as the Apostolic Archive. The Vatican's history is full of secrets, and of all the Vatican's purported secrets, more may be more bizarre than the legend of the Coronal Visor. The Coronal Visor, again, is said to be a device that gives the user the ability to see through time. Some interesting things that I want to mention here is that Enrico Fermi worked on the Manhattan Project. That's supposed to be one of the inventors of the 12 scientists who helped invent the Coronal Visor. Werner von Braun was a leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and a pioneer in rocket and science technology in the United States. He also allegedly worked on another time machine, the Nazi Bell. And
really?
you can also find blueprints of the supposed Coronal Visor online. What's your thoughts on that?
I think, that's kind of similar. Very much similar to what we was talking about. It sounds like they had the one that was the two-dimensional, like a movie.
Yes, yeah. It's basically like a TV set that showed the past.
So then just a few years later, then they had the holographic, which was time travel.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing.
You know, I find it fascinating that Von Braun's name come up because, again, we've talked about him before on the show. Mm-hmm. And if we were going to contact somebody to see, do you think that the Vatican Museum would be a good place to call?
Yes.
All right.
Are we calling the Vatican?
Okay. Let's give them a call.
Is it in the middle of the night there?
I have no idea. But we are attempting to call the Vatican Museum.
Okay.
And here we go. Is it the middle of the night there?
I think so.
Okay. That may be closed. When the answer say, "This is Cronkite, I want to know about the Coronal Visor." What are you looking at on your phone?
Just clearing some stuff off.
Again, we're attempting to contact the Vatican Museum to ask about the Coronal Visor. And it rang out. So, what time is it right now at the Vatican?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Why don't you figure that out right now?
Well, I'm trying, Goose.
But I do think that that's fascinating that Von Braun's name come up on that. And for more research, just Google Coronal Visor. And, again, there is plans to build those online. I'm sorry that I butchered some of those Catholic names.
No, it's not so, that.
But have you got it pulled up about what time it is?
Hold on one second.
I think they hung up on me.
Yeah, it's 6:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, see, they should have answered. Maybe the museum's closed on Sundays.
Yes, it closed at 4 p.m.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to take a break and have a new Ned Said and come back with segment 3 with some listener text, the Denver airport update, question of the week responses, and a new question of the week that was written by yours truly, Cronkite.
Oh, well.
We'll be back in just a few moments.
Today I feel so down. You told me to go away. Miles and miles keep dragging me down. No one knows better than me. Someone told me to find myself. You can't take that away. I'll find somewhere to be alone.
Greetings.
We come in peace.
The City of Coal Run Village Mayor Andrew Scott and City Commissioners Beverly Joe Osborne, Big Joe Atkins, Trey Eskins, and Mike Steele encourage you to shop local.
With over 200 businesses, the City of Coal Run Village offers games, restaurants, gas, auto parts, cars, and much more.
You'll find all of this and more in the City of Coal Run Village. Shop local and shop often.
It's now time for Ned Said on Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Cronkite is now offering private dances for 2 easy payments of biscuits and gravy.
You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail for Here to Chew Bubblegum. 606-373-3396. You can also send an email to goose@heretochewbubblegum.com or cronkite@heretochewbubblegum.com. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose and Cronkite.
And welcome back. Nothing beats a good Ned Said.
Right?
Ned, we need more of those.
Absolutely.
We miss you, Ned. So we're going to start out segment 3 with some listener text.
Okay.
Let's see. Orion says, long-time listener, first-time texting in. This may have been asked before, but how long does it take you to record a show? I also asked because I'm thinking about doing a NASCAR podcast. Also, do you have any advice for anyone interested in doing a podcast, Roswell? Usually to record a show, we record every Sunday.
It takes 17 minutes to do one.
No. It takes a couple of hours. We usually start on Sundays, 11 a.m., and we get done by 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Oh, it's later than that. It's like it's 2:30.
So, and then I edit the show, and we get it on. It's usually on around 6 o'clock on Sundays. Any advice for anyone doing a podcast? If you're going to do it solo, just buy good microphones. A boom mic is a necessity. Mm-hmm. If you're doing it with a partner, get a mixing board. Mm-hmm. I'm actually thinking about upgrading our mixing board again. I mean, this one does great. It does a great job, but I'm thinking about updating it to a bigger mixing board. I'm going to give away some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Okay.
We're currently looking for a permanent studio.
Okay.
And hopefully we will have that very soon. Why are you touching the mic cord?
I'm trying to move it a little bit.
Well, why don't you just move it? When you touch the cord, you can hear that. You just might as well grab it and move it. See? Stop that.
That drives you crazy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But anyway.
That's my new favorite thing to do.
We love recording in bunker studios, but Papa requires that we take our stuff down. We're looking for a permanent studio location. It will still be secret location where we can set everything up how we want it. And hopefully that's just a couple of months around the corner.
It'd be exciting. So now, did Orion say that he's going to start a NASCAR podcast?
Yes, that is what he said.
I would love to be a guest on the NASCAR podcast, Orion.
Orion, just remember that. Cronkite likes watching the little cars go around the track.
I'm a huge race car fan. Got my start in NASCAR.
Okay.
All right.
Nobody cares. Go ahead with your text.
Listen, just relax. You're living in the 80s over there. Spaceman says Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated is a very strange website. Did you ever find out what they actually do?
No, we have not. And we'll probably have a special in a couple of weeks. The entire show will be a Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated special.
Indeed.
And that'll be a couple of weeks. We'll announce when we're going to do that. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Dixon09 says, "Hey guys, a great show last week. Ear candy satisfaction, Roswell."
I found something that's that annoys you now. So you should probably
do not touch the mic cord. That annoys the listeners too.
You should probably.
That sounds very unprofessional.
You should probably be nicer to me.
You should. Hey, I can reach across this table and kick you between the legs. Oh my God, man.
Reed says, "Hey Goose, Cronkite, Ned, and Elliot, if you could change one thing about anything, that what would it be, and how would the outcome be different?" Roswell.
So I guess that's questions. What, we could time travel and change one thing about anything?
It doesn't even say time travel. It says if you could change one thing about anything, what would it be?
You want to go first?
That's kind of put me on the spot. I don't know. I had to really think about it. Just off the top of my head, I wish I'd have had tacos last night. But let me just think about it.
See, no, yours is food related. Why do you always go to food related items?
Because that's my life.
Look me. I would like to have went back in high school, and there would have been some things I changed. So,
me personally, I would have probably continued in college and hopefully been an airline pilot by now.
Well, there you go. Cheryl says, "Hi, Goose and Cronkite. I've never heard of Rando Nautica till I heard you guys talking about it. I downloaded the app, and wow."
Yes.
Is all I can say. I'm hooked now.
Well, and we actually talked about that at the beginning of the show.
Yes, we did.
We're going to probably do some very soon, right?
Yes, we are.
In the next,
yes, we are. Coming up, hopefully in May, we'll have a bunch of episodes. In May, we'll have a bunch of episodes on our midweek show on our YouTube page.
Indeed. Magic Man says, Coke or Pepsi? Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Pepsi, 1000% Pepsi.
So, Denver Airport update.
So the Denver Airport update is I emailed the media outlet there, the public relations folks, and Emily got back with me, and she said that she would be more than happy to speak with us about the conspiracy surrounding the Denver Airport. So I emailed her back and asked her what day and what time she would like to be. Hopefully she does a interview during our podcast. If not, it'll be pre-recorded. But once she gets back,
we can make it work.
Once she gets back with me, we will have a interview with the Denver Airport. How exciting is that?
That is very, very exciting. Ned just came in. Ned, a few minutes ago, we tried to call Vatican City to ask them about the Coronal Visor, which is a pretty much a TV that shows you past events. Nobody answered. Because it was 6:30 in the evening and the museum closed at 4. So we missed it by just a few hours. But it's so weird, we just took a break and look on my phone and see Vatican City. So, moving on to some Question of the Week responses. Last week's Question of the Week was, what is another unexplainable, notable thing that has happened to you?
Alrighty.
And that one was provided to us by Elliot.
Indeed.
You want to start out?
Sure. Dr. Acula says, I found all of my
Acula.
He says,
Dracula.
Dr. Acula.
Yeah, Dracula.
Dracula. Yeah, no, I get it. I just thought it was funny. I found all of my missing socks that the dryer eats. For real, once I was supposed to ride with a friend across country. As the date got close, I started having very strong feelings that something bad would happen. I canceled my trip, and my friend got someone else to go with him. On the second day, a terrible accident happened, and the guy that took my place was killed. My friend survived with only minor injuries.
Well,
that's crazy. But see, that kind of goes back, ties into what I've been saying from the beginning. Everything in this world is connected. The fact that you had a feeling that that something terrible was going to happen.
Yeah, and you didn't go.
I mean, that's what more proof do you need?
Exactly. Justin says, I've managed to trick someone into marrying me and have maintained the con for almost 20 years.
Well, keep it up, bud. Ray from Saturn says, overcoming a traumatic event and being able to help others. Each day is a blessing, Roswell.
Yes, it
Indeed.
is. John says, astro projection talk about an out-of-body experience, one of the more wildest moments of my life.
Pauline says, I can't think of anything but wanted to say hello to everyone at Here to Chew Bubblegum. Well, hello, Pauline.
Thank you very much. And my last one from my cousin RJ says, when I was younger, my mom asked me if there was anything I needed while we were at the mall. And I jokingly said, yeah, the new Shaq Reebok pumps, expecting to be laughed at. But after the unexpectedly long silence, she turned around and said, let's go. See if they have your size. It was at that point that I realized I was witnessing the beginning of menopause and how it truly takes hold of its victims. P.S. I got the shoes. Thank you very much, Cousin RJ, for that. Again, we have a new question of the week, and this one is courtesy of Cronkite. Now, I'm going to just read what you put in our group Facebook message, what the question of the week should be. If you want to tidy it up a little bit, to make sure I'm saying it correctly,
Okay.
please feel free to jump in. The new question of the week: what movie end of the world scenario do you believe is more plausible? The Matrix style, Terminator style, etc.
Yeah. So basically, what the question will be is, basically that. Well, what do you think will actually be the end of the world? Is it going to be like? But it has to be in a movie. You know, is it going to be the Terminator: Rise of the Machines? Is it going to be Matrix Simulation? No. Is it going to be Walking Dead Zombies? Is it going to be
that one would be nice?
Is it going to be Armageddon? Is it going to be all right? What is it?
It would be like Deep Impact, where the what are they?
The comet?
Yeah, the comet crashes and waters get up and all that stuff.
Right. Okay.
Or it could be like the...
well, that's what I said, Armageddon.
Yeah. Well, no, but not the Armageddon movie.
Well, why not?
I think it's going to be like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay. How so?
I don't know.
All righty. But that's the question of the week. Me personally, I think it's going to be like Terminator. I think the Rise of the Machines is our downfall.
I hope it's like The Walking Dead, because I have a plan. I have a plan.
All righty.
To answer our question of the week, you can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396.
Or you can always email goose@heretotchewbubblegum.com or Cronkite@heretotchewbubblegum.com. Nader Elliott, heretotchewbubblegum@yahoo.com. Attention, Nader Elliott. You can also even hit our Facebook up.
Yes, and we also have a TikTok page.
No, we do.
Thank you very much for making that.
Well, I think you actually made it.
Yes, I did, because
you're trying to be hip.
No, you said 2 or 3 times, I'm Cronkite, I'm going to make us a TikTok page.
Well,
and then nobody ever, you never did it.
Well, you didn't give me time to.
Well, I got tired of asking after 3 weeks.
Goose.
That was 21 days, man, of me asking.
Well, I
just went ahead and done it myself.
I have to make sure that everything's right before we do
it. Bullshit.
You are just wanting to hold on to your youth. That's all it is. No. You're 58 years old. Just embrace.
You are so full of it.
You are literally a deviled egg away from being senior citizen.
You are so full of it. Again, our question of the week: what movie end of the world scenario do you believe is more plausible? Matrix style, Terminator style, etc.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to use the thing. That was just examples.
Yes. Now, don't forget, next week's show, listener-requested topics. The first 4 people to contact us with a topic you want us to talk about, you can do that through email, through comment on our Facebook page, whatever, just ever how you contact us. You can call and text us. The first 4 people that contact us and give us topics, that is what we're going to talk about on next week's show. That and nothing else. Let's see. I just had something on my phone go off here. Let's see.
Mine too.
If we had Ned messaging him some stuff. The CDC website on zombie preparedness. And that is pretty awesome. Do you want to make a call before we go out? Another call?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we're actually going to leave this one a message.
All right.
Okay? So and we'll both do it, just follow in beside me.
Okay.
What we're doing is we're calling a number to the past.
Okay.
Do you follow me so far?
Yes.
You will understand when the phone is answered. So, again, we're calling to give one of our dear friends a heads up on something. So, he will answer.
You've reached Saul Goodman. Looking for phones? Well, I'll get a surprise for you. The phone guy is no longer just the phone guy. I'm the law guy, your law guy. That's right, Saul Goodman, attorney at law. You meet the law, you want the law to meet me. Leave a message after the beep. I'll get back to you before you sleep.
Hello, Saul. My name is Goose.
Oh, it hung up.
Oh, well, it hung up on me. Well, never mind. We were going to try to leave Saul Goodman a message and tell him to avoid Walter White.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't guess that worked out. It wasn't meant to be.
No.
I don't guess.
I guess not.
But don't forget, if you need a good lawyer, need him fast, contact Saul Goodman. And do you want me to give that number out to contact Saul
Sure.
Goodman? You can contact Saul Goodman at area code 505-842-5662. That's area code 505-842-5662 to contact Saul Goodman.
I had a cramp. I almost knocked the microphone over.
Yeah. I noticed you making strange faces and moving around over there.
I almost knocked the boom over.
Yeah, just go ahead and say I'm one deviled egg away from being a senior citizen.
You are.
Cramp boy.
You are one deviled egg away. Well, I'm not far behind you. I mean, I'm 20 years behind you.
No, you are not.
I certainly am.
No, you're not 20
I'm 22 years. You're 58.
You're like 34 years old.
Yeah, and you're 58.
There is like 13 years difference between us.
You're 64.
No, I'm not.
You're going to be a senior citizen soon.
No, I'm not. Anything to say before we close out this week?
No.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay, because I know just as soon as I start talking, you're going to interrupt me and say something.
Mm-mm.
You were thinking about it. I could tell the look
not,
on your face.
That's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me.
Yeah. Anyway, don't forget to check out Talk Junkie with Justin. And
Justin on Talk Junkie. That's a good one.
Yes. And don't forget, next week is listener requested topics. First 4 people to contact us with a topic you want us to talk about. That's what we'll talk about on next week's show.
Give us some good ones.
Special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work. CK, Uncle Bill, and the rest of the gang over at deadpit.com. T-Shirt Joe at fastcustomshirts.com. If you need shirts, you need them fast, need them done right, contact T-Shirt Joe at fastcustomshirts.com. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.
We'll see you.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.